Chapter 110. Harakiri. Dragon God Martial Army Camp. Sima Changkong and Grandmaster Liu Nian chatted about the battle ahead. Grandmaster, you were good at the Tao of painting. This game of breaking the army, have you broken it? Sima Changkong frowned. Breaking the army this game. Not just the Qin Dao so simple anymore. My painting Dao that there is no way to break it. Wait for Gu Hai. Gu Hai has Gu Chen. Maybe he can break Les Miserables. Master Liu Nian shook his head. Ancient Sea. Counting the time. It's almost here, right? Sima Changkong laughed. Steeply a subordinate barged into the duo's grand hall. Grandmaster, it's bad. The county princess has disappeared, the subordinate said with an anxious face. What? Grandmaster Liu Nian's face changed. Sima Changkong's face was also solemn, and at once, the two of them stopped their argumentative army and hurriedly flew to a large hall in the distance. The moment the duo stepped into the large hall, they immediately saw a group of guards bound up, each with something gagged on their mouths. What's going on? Master Liu Nian's face turned cold. Probing his hand, he removed the mouths of a group of subordinates. Grandmaster, the sheriff master said she was going to kill Gu Hai, and when we didn't agree, the sheriff master had us, the subordinate anxiously said. Kill Gu Hai. Master Lian's face changed. Kill Gu Hai. It's not easy for Longwan Yu to find Gu Hai. How is it possible? Sima Changkong frowned. No. Longwan Yu can find Gu Hai. If she wants to, she can find it right away. Master Liu Nian's face changed. Sima Changkong immediately changed his face and said, a month can only be once. Longwan Yu this time. Actually used in. Go, quickly. Master Liu Nian glared. Sima Changkong and Grandmaster Liu Nian, with a group of strong men, stepped onto the flying boat and shot off into the distance. This direction. Gu Hai and the others are coming. It should be this direction, right? Grandmaster Liu Nian was worried. While the crowd's flying boats were flying quickly, Sima Changkong was probing his eyes to look carefully in all directions. The crowd was anxious. The flying boat flew for 3 days. Sima Changkong steeply changed his face and said, that direction. I see something in that direction. At this moment, Sima Changkong's eyes were glowing with a hint of green light, as if the green light was rapidly collecting distant sights. The flying boat quickly flew over. However, it saw that at the top of the mountain peak, there was a stone monument with the inscription Ancient Sea is buried here. Hiss. It's really the county master. He's worried that we're looking for him, and he's even introduced Gu Hai to a remote place. Master Liu Nian's face was gloomy and said, Sima Changkong, but once again, his eyes were glowing with green light, twisting his eyes to look in all directions. That way, Sima Changkong called out. The flying boat quickly flew in accordance with the point, and soon, another stone monument was seen. That way, that side, that way. Sima Changkong kept pointing. If Gu Chen and Broken Army were smooth ears, Sima Changkong's eyes were as if they were clairvoyant, constantly looking into the distance. Sure enough, after pointing for some time, he finally found where Gu Hai and his party were. However, the surrounding area was one that was already shrouded in black and yellow mist. There inside the big formation, Master Liu Nian's face sank. My Sima clan's yellow spring destruction scripture. Bastard, Sima Changkong's eyes glared. Probing his hand, Sima Changkong took out a golden brush. As soon as the brush came out, it was as if a vertical golden character appeared in the void, and columns of golden fonts surrounded Sima Changkong, making Sima Changkong look incomparably holy. A stroke of order, dividing heaven and earth. Sima Changkong probed his hand and wrote a single stroke towards the grand formation. A single stroke was written as if it was writing a yellow river. The surrounding floating golden characters were accompanied by this yellow river rushing towards the grand formation. Boom! The grand formation was instantly washed away by a large portion of this yellow river. It also instantly exposed Gao Xianzi, Long Sanqian, and the others. "Grandmaster, you guys are here." Mu Qianfeng was instantly delighted and said, "Grandmaster, the Emperor is trapped inside," Gao Xianzi said anxiously. "Mr. Sima, this seems to be your family's Yellow Spring destruction scripture." Long Sanqian laughed bitterly. Sima Changkong did not hesitate and once again made a stroke towards the remaining grand formation. The law comes out with the brush, the Yellow Spring scripture disperses. Boom! Steeply, the remaining grand formation also instantly tore open an opening. The crowd anxiously looked towards the interior. Boom! However, they saw Gu Hai's blood knife come out and blasted a black-robed man back and away. However, it was instantly forced back by a group of black-robed men. After all, the crowd had cultivation. Only Gu Hai was unable to cast spells. If it wasn't for the sturdy armor, he would have already suffered a wound at this moment. With the absolute life blade in one hand and the blood blade in the other, he coldly looked at the black-robed man across the street who wanted to come and kill himself. "Sima Feng, how dare you?" Sima Changkong said with a glare in his eyes. Beside Long Wanyu, the black-robed man who was grasping the brush steeply trembled. Looking up, he looked. However, he saw that a huge opening had been torn open in mid-air. Sima Changkong and Master Liu Nian all looked coldly. Young master," the pen-grabbing black-robed man stiffened. "He is the first-grade hall master. Gu Hai, you guys want to behead a court official in order to curry favor with the county princess," Master Liunian said in a cold voice. The group of black-robed men chasing Gu Hai, however, froze and stopped, looking at Long Wanyu at the top of the mountain. At this moment, Gu Hai, however, did not take the opportunity to kill over. From the moment he knew about Long Wanyu, Gu Hai's killing heart had already been exhausted, and there was only a bitter smile. "Kill. Kill for me." Long Wanyu didn't buy the account of Master Liu Nian and Sima Changkong. A group of black-robed men looked at Gu Hai. "HMPH, if the county lord can be lawless, can you all be lawless as well? You think you are also county lords? Still don't stop," Master Liunian said in a cold voice. The crowd of black-robed men were slightly stunned and ultimately didn't dare to make a move. Yes, the county princess can be lawless in Dojin, but they don't have that life R. Even if the county princess protects herself, she can only protect for a moment. Who can guarantee the future? Murdering a court official, that is a capital offense. Bastard, 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 you bunch of losers. Long Wanyu anxiously looked at the group of black-robed men anxiously. Sima Changkong coldly stared at Sima Feng, the black-robed man who grabbed the pen. Sima Feng didn't dare to be disobedient. The brush made a stroke. Boom! The surrounding great formation scattered with a roar. Master Liu Nian and Sima Changkong all landed on top of Long Wanyu's mountain peak. "County Master." Grandmaster Liu Nian stepped forward and advised. "Pa!" Long Wanyu cracked a whip on Master Liu Nian. Not far away, Gu Hai's eyes glared, wanting to stop, but looking at Long Wanyu, but bitterly held back. Master Liu Nian, however, did not get angry and bitterly said, "Sheriff, Gu Hai is one king's husband, your brother-in-law." Long Wanyu but red eyes. "No, it is he who killed my sister. If not for him, how could my sister die? How could she die? To ask you to meddle in other people's business. Asked you to protect sister, but you protected her to death. Asked you to be nosy. Asked you to be nosy." Long Wanqing cried as she lashed Master Liu Nian with her whip. Around them, Sima Changkong, Long Sanqian and the others, but they didn't dare to interrupt. Mu Qianfeng even didn't dare to say anything. After knowing that it was Long Wanyu, Mu Qianfeng, but he didn't even dare to open his mouth in general. Gu Hai looked at Master Liu Nian being whipped. A slight burst of bitterness said, "Long Wanyu, the master is innocent. HMPH." Long Wanyu stopped whipping Master Liu Nian and looked at Gu Hai with red eyes, a bone-deep hatred in her eyes. "You killed my sister. You're the one who killed my sister." Long Wanyu cried, and looked at Gu Hai. Wan Qing died for me. I have an unshakable responsibility, but one day I will bring her back to life. Long Wan Yu, before Wan Qing died, she asked me to take care of you. Lol. Gu Hai said with a slight sigh. I don't want you to take care of me. I want my sister. Gu Hai, you return my sister. Long Wan Yu stared at Gu Hai and cried. At this moment, the arrival of Master Liu Nian and Sima Changkong showed that he could no longer succeed in trying to kill Gu Hai. He had gone through a great deal of effort to trick Gu Hai into coming here, just to avoid Sima Changkong and the others, but he still hadn't been able to avoid them. Long Wan Yu, Wan Qing has died. I am also in the middle of avenging Wan Qing. I know you hate me, but I promised Wan Qing. I won't ignore it. Wan Qing's death. I know it hurts you a lot too. Now, I don't know how to comfort you, but we must all move on. If there's a way to make you feel better, I can do it. Say it. I'll try my best to help you. Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Make me feel better? You try to help me as much as you can. HMPH. Then you go to hell. I'll feel better if you die. You're helping me if you die. Long Wan Yu cried with a hateful voice. You. Gu Hai raised his eyebrows. This Long Wan Yu couldn't communicate at all. County Master, Master Liu Nian also advised from the side. You guys don't care. He was the one who said to make me feel better. Just that bone knife in your hand. It will die if you touch it. I feel that whoever it touches will die. So you use that bone knife to cut your belly and die for me. I'll feel better. I wouldn't blame you, Long Wan Yu said with hatred. The crowd was anxious. Sima Changkong and Grandmaster Liu Nian persuaded them several times, but Long Wan Yu's arrogant nature didn't listen at all. Instead, she stared at Gu Hai in death. Didn't you say you'd try to do as much as possible? You cut your belly with a bone knife. Then I won't blame you. From now on, don't you dare. Long Wan Yu glared at Gu Hai and roared. Gao Xianzi, Mu Chunfeng, and Gu Chen were anxious for a while and were about to speak. Gu Hai probed his hand to stop the crowd and instead stared at Long Wan Yu dead in the face and said, What you said? As long as I use this bone knife to cut my belly, you'll no longer fight me. Go with me to deal with Wan Qing's true enemy. Long Wan Yu was however slightly stunned. What did Gu Hai mean by this? He really wants to commit Harakiri. It's not right. I felt earlier that that bone knife would surely die if it was dipped. My feeling can't be wrong. That's an evil knife. How can he use it to commit Harakiri? Anyone would die. I said, You Harakiri in front of my face. You Harakiri, you and I grudges. Right off, Long Wan Yu roared with red eyes. As you wish, Gu Hai nodded. Slowly, he put the blood knife aside. Gu Hai tore open his chest clothes, revealing his strong chest and abdominal muscles. Gu Hai, don't, Mr. Gu, no. Both Master Liu Nian and Sima Changkong anxiously said. Shut up, you guys. Long Wan Yu glared and roared. The two looked at Gu Hai, but Gu Hai ignored them and looked at Long Wan Yu. Long Wan Yu, watch this. Don't go back on your word later. Gu Hai raised his bone knife to his chest and finally looked at Long Wan Yu. Long Wan Yu, keep my words. Long Wan Yu looked towards Gu Hai with a wave of anticipation in her eyes. There. Gu Hai very dryly inserted the absolute life knife into his abdomen. Your Majesty, Gao Xianzi and a group of other ministers exclaimed. Sima Changkong and Master Liu Nian had anxious faces. The others had long since widened their eyes. Gu Hai, in order to give his sister-in-law a break from the fire. This was too desperate, wasn't it? Slicing the abdomen with a bone knife. A knife was inserted into the abdomen. Long Wan Yu, however, shuddered and revealed a hint of regret. How did he really commit Harakiri? Everyone around held their breath and went quiet, watching in horror as Gu Hai plunged the bone knife into his abdomen. There, the bone knife was inserted once again.